Hey guys, it's Maymay, and I have been dying to play with these products, but I've had so many projects to get done that I haven't been able to. But I am putting a screeching halt on anything else, and I'm playing with these. So I'm going to be using a lot of the 49 and Market project products. I'm going to have a full blog post showing you what I'm using, but I'm just going to quickly do like this to show you, because if you have these pieces already, you might want to see what I'm using, kind of pull these out and kind of go with me. I'll put this here because I'm excited about that. This is the new laser cuts. I don't even think I've shown these yet. They just came in. And I'm going to use the Foundation's Memory Keeper, the envelope one, okay? And the new fabric tape. I know I haven't shown y'all this, but I'm super excited about the new fabric tape. So let's get started. Breaking in here to ask you to hit that red subscribe button. It's free. Also hit the bell button beside it. You can help me reach my big goal this year of 400,000 subscribers. Okay, back to crafting. So the album I'm going to be making is this guy, and I want to show you this. I have not had the chance to show you how these work. I've shown them to you in after show, so you see the new product coming in. But see this, dude? This is some packaging that comes with it. You do not have to save this, but it's really good packaging. You might want to use it for something. You know how I am. Just a warning. Okay, so here's what the inside looks like. If I bring it here, you can see I've got this closure at the top. The magnet is already in, and here are the sides and the bottom. Now, how I'm going to do this is I'm going to build outside of the album the elements that will live here, and then we'll put it together. So I just wanted to show you that's where we're headed, because I think it's important you see that. And I never remember what goes first. Okay, the bottom goes first, and then one side and the other, and I did it backwards. And why? Because I always do. So it's one side and then the other. And how do I know it was backwards? It didn't magnet. There are magnets here as well. And then, of course, your front closure magnet. So let's get the pieces out. We're going to build for it. So the first one I'm going to start with is this guy, the Envelope Gatefold Flip Folio in black. And let me show you this. First off, don't forget your magnets are right here. But on the back, do you see the pieces that come with this? This is what you want to hang on to. This is going to tell you where everything kind of goes. And I'm going to show you what comes in here. You get a lot, okay? So you can make this as a standalone album, but I'm going to put it in my holder, right? Okay, so the first most, I guess the most prominent piece is this guy. This is a good base to start with and perfect if you just want to do a folio. So there's that one. The next thing I want to show you is you get this gatefold. You see that? That's what makes this one different. You get this gatefold piece, which can mount in here anywhere, or can mount in your album anywhere you want to put it. I just want to show you all the pieces. You also get this gatefold piece, which can mount anywhere. Not sure how we're doing it yet. Haven't got that far. Then you get these extra pieces that are already scored and angle cut for you. So you get this piece, which is an extra, this piece. These pieces confuse a lot of people. Let me tell you what this is. Let's say I wanted to put this guy in, but I didn't want to glue him down and waste all the real estate behind him. I can use this pre-made binding strip to do that. We'll probably do that. We'll probably do it. And you'll get two of these. You get them for if you want to do like this one, if you want to do it sideways, or if you want to do it long ways. And then the last piece is a template. This template is so you can cut out the matte piece. This is something I love about 49 and Market. They give us these templates when we have a hard curve or a hard shape. So that is what that is for. Okay, so which do I want to start with? I think I'm going to move everything aside, and we're going to start with the base first. So let's decide how we're going to lay this out. I'm going to bring my book back over, okay? And for me, I think I want to mimic the kind of envelope situation. So I want this guy to live here, and I just want to double check and make sure he can. He can, and I've got to point something out to you. This guy is gusseted. Do you see the double score there? We're going to use those gussets so it'll fit in here. So let's do our folding really quick. So all that means to us is I want to fold and score every score line and build the body of this guy, okay? So just folding and scoring everywhere. Folding and creasing. As long as I have been paper crafting, I say that. Folding and scoring. No, folding and creasing. They're pre-scored for us. So what that does for us is this. It builds a gusset here. I call this a gusset. I don't know what else to call it. It builds a gusset here. See that? And it creates the gusset here. So it gives our folio that's going inside its body. So now when we come back to here, this guy will now fit in here, and he's dimensional. And what's so cool is This guy will protect him. And whatever we put on this guy will also fit here. Isn't it cool? Okay. This album's going to take me showing you everything, but it's not hard to do. All right. So now here's what I'm working with. I'm working with 3 pages. Here, here, and here. Let's decide what we want to do. I really like this gatefold. I think it's really cool. And I think it would look good here. But I think what I want to do is make it where it also opens out. You don't have to, but I think I'm going to. So let's look. Do I want it to open down? Or do I want it to open out? I think down makes more sense. Or maybe even up. Let's do up. So here's what I have to do that. I take one of my binding strips. Gosh, I love this. Do you see I don't even have my trimmer with me? Like it's not even over here because I'm not having to do any of this. Take a binding strip. Fold and crease it. Okay. We're going to come back here to the back of this guy. And I'm going to add glue. And I'm actually going to put my glue on the strip so I know where it's going. Just like that. Now, the more you add of this, the more real estate, the more places you get to decorate, right? I'm going to try to load this guy up for fun, right? Let's just see what we can create. Let's just load this album up. All right. And now what I'll do is let's see, since this will be the piece that's glued into the holder, is that right? Or will it be the, let me check. I'll probably do a lot of checking. No, it'll be this piece. Yep. So I'm going to put my gatefold piece on that piece. So that means I'm going to have flap, gatefold piece, and we're only going to glue it using the binding strip. So I'm going to add some glue here. And then I'm going to glue this into place just below that score mark. And you want to make sure you're just above this score mark because you want everything to be able to fold smoothly. Look at that, y'all. Without a trimmer. Now look what we've done. We've added this piece. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay that down and I'm going to rub this down really well. I should use sticky tape because I could get it exactly where I want it. You know what I'm talking about? But we're going to do it like this for now. So now I have real estate. Do you see that? Now let's go in here and see what we can do. We have to remember the more I add, the more I have to decorate, right? So let's say I take this piece with this little panel here. Let's go ahead and fold and crease that. And then I think it can live right here. And that gives me even more real estate. Do you see that? So all I have to do here is add glue to this. I just can't get over how easy. I haven't even brought out my trimmer. I'm actually kind of anxious to see when I will bring out my trimmer because wait till you see the paper. It's all pre-cut too. I'm telling you, I've laughed and said, if 49 and Market makes this any easier, they're just going to send me pre-made albums, right? So now I have this flap. Look at there. And I still have this guy. So I can make this one open even one more time. I don't know if I want it to. Let me see. I don't think I'm going to have it open one more time. I think that's enough for this guy. Let's save it. Because see, now I have these two I can use somewhere else. Who knows where. I might even use them to make a little folio out of them by themselves. So in all of that, I only used one of my binding strips. I still have these two left that can be used. I'm going to put those up there. And I'm not going to put this in yet, but I want to show you. This will now live right here. So when you open this album, this element is going to go like this and fold out, right? Okay, let's go ahead and put a magnet on to be safe. I find that when I get going, I'll forget. Now, these magnets are not pre-adhesive, okay? We're going to have to add our own adhesive. But one thing I want you to do is match them up and make sure they lay flat together before you install them, okay? Just make sure you have the right A's and B's. And then what I'm going to do is place some sticky on here, just like so. Then I'll peel that backer off. Can you guys tell I'm not at my actual work surface? I've set up a second work surface to work on this. So if this takes me too long, I can keep doing other videos. So I didn't have my pokey tool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it here, okay, at the top. But I don't want to go to the super, super, super top. Let me show you why. I'm going to come down a little bit. I want to be able to glue paper around it and give myself a good gap to be able to put paper and glue it in, right? I'm going to move this guy because he's just in our way at this point. There's enough black on the screen for you guys to be able to see. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this down, but I'm going to add some adhesive here, and that'll place our magnet where it goes. So let's put a little there. And don't worry about how sticky you're making your magnet. Here's why. When you add your paper, you're going to cover these up and stick them down again. So don't stress too much about it. I'm going to have to walk over there and get my pokey tool if we're going to keep doing this. Okay, so ready? Here's what you got to do. Square this guy up. Before you do that, before you close it, square it up. See how I've got it nice and square? Now, my magnet will remain square. So stick him into place. Now we can open that. Look at that. Oh, it's so nice. So nice, right? Awesome. All right, that's one element that's going inside. We'll need to decorate it. Let's work on another element. So now I'm going to use the open waterfall set, and I want to show you how this one works, okay? So in here, you get a large, there's a terrible glare, you get a large waterfall and two small ones. I don't think I'm going to use the small ones in this album. I'm just going to use the big one. But I want to show you, these are the two smalls, and they go together just like the big. They're just smaller versions. So I have those stacked there. I'm going to move those aside. Now, here's what you've got, okay? You've got a closure strap. You have a either template or piece you can use here, any old way you want to use that. And here is your waterfall. Do you see how it opens like this? But we have to do a little scoring, okay? So piece number one is already folded and scored. The largest piece, I can put it aside. Now what I need to do is fold this one. Do you see that I have a fold? I have two folds. One is folded and one is just scored. Let's go ahead and fold that one. That's going to give us the place to adhere it in, okay? So when we close this down, what we're looking for is a little stair step. See how they don't line up? Because I have this place to add my adhesive, and that goes inside here. I just noticed there is another score there, so I need to fold it. Because remember, we're building all of the gussets in this. We want all of that bulk because this album will hold it. So what I'll do next, put that where you can see it. Let's go like this, is glue this guy right here. You see that? He's going to glue right to the score, but not over it. See how I can still close it? That's what we want to do. So I'm going to add glue to this adhesive, or to this section here. Oh, no math. I'm just sitting here thinking of all the things I would have had to done to design this waterfall. All right, so I'm going to put that right under the score line, even on both sides, making sure I've cleared it, and I have. And then I'll turn it sideways for you to see it. So now you see we have first waterfall, second waterfall page, third waterfall page, fourth, okay? Now we can put our little closure on it. Now you might decide not to, and actually I think I might wait. And the reason is I'm going to want to cover this and make it pretty, and I might want to do it before I, do all this work, but let me show you how it goes. See your score marks? You're going to fold them and crease them both. So I'm going to go ahead and crease these down as well. One, then the other. So I've got them good and creased, okay? And then this gets glued right back here. Look how easy. And look, you get this flap that you can put magnets on when we get to it. And we can trim that down if we want to. Let me bring this over so you can see. Do you see how that flap goes? Now what they show here, and I'll show you, which is really cool, is they mount this piece on here, like so. And then this becomes your closure here. Okay, so we'll get there. I don't know how we're going to do it. I just want to kind of get things laid out. Now, where is this one going to live in our big book? Let's bring it over. We know what's living in the middle, right? I'm thinking I want to put this waterfall here. I'm going to pull this out for now. I think I want this waterfall to live here, and I want to double check, okay? If my waterfall is going to be at the bottom and this envelope's going to be at the top, I want to be sure these will close. That fits perfect. Let me show you. You see how that fits? And so that'll go like that. They'll nestle inside. I still have one to put here. That'll nestle inside. The only place I need to be cautious of putting another booklet is here, because this piece closes flush. Let me pick this up and show you. You see that? This piece closes flush, so I won't put a booklet here, but I've got room to put one here, and then we can start decorating. Okay, so that is how I plan to lay mine out. So this will open like this when I get them glued in. So I have an envelope folio, I have a waterfall, and now I just need to decide what's going here. So we're going to talk about what's going to fit here. Let's talk about it for a second. I'm going to put a whole other large piece here. But if you only bought the 2 pieces I've already shown you, you could put a waterfall here, because remember, you've got a gusset up here. Let me go ahead and fold it so you can see. So we've got a little gusset. You could put a waterfall here, okay? And the other waterfall, if we fold it on its gusset, these are the 2 smalls that came in that set, could go here. And you could even turn one this way because you've got magnet closures included in the kit, you see? So you could do one here. That's all you'd need. I don't want to do more waterfalls. I'm happy with my one big one, but I wanted to show you that just with what I've already shown you, you could fill this guy up. Let me show what we're going to do. So do you remember in our first envelope folio we put together, we had these 2 pieces left, this gatefold piece here, this pre-scored piece, and then we had our binding strips. I'm not going to use the 2 small ones. I don't think I am. Let me show you this layout that I'm thinking. Instead of adding another book here, instead of opening another folio, here's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. I think I'm going to fold this on its score line and crease it. I'm just going to lay this out to show you first and let it live like this. Okay, so it'll be right here. Then on top of this, I'm thinking I'll use this extra strip we have. Let me fold it and crease it. And I'm thinking I will have it sort of at the bottom here and let this guy live on it. And I can magnet it shut in the back, right? And then it can flip open like this. And then the whole piece will then flip forward like that. I don't know if that's what I want to do. I think I do. There's so many ways to do it. I could just put this in here with the small gusset and have it flip out. And then maybe have this. Let's look at that. Let's look at that. So many options. Let's take the small gusset. It's like engineering. Let's say we put the small gusset here and this on it. And this guy opens. Let me put this in. And then this guy opens out. Then I could have this guy living in here and open up. I kind of like that. Let's do it. Let's just do it. So here's what that means. So it means on my gatefold piece, you see it's my gatefold side, I'm going to flip it over. And on one end, I'm going to add a binding strip. Are y'all noticing I still haven't got my trimmer out? How long can she go without getting out her trimmer? That's the question. All right. Glue that one down. Now, I'm not going to glue it in the book yet. I want to decorate before I do that. So I'm going to set that aside. And then this guy, I feel like I might could glue him in, but I don't know that I want to yet. He's going to live here. I just want to do a quick check. If I put him here, I just want to make sure this is going to work. And I glue this guy here. I'm pretty sure it will, but let's just do a test. So if they're living like this guy's going to go up. Yep, he'll hide that area. Perfect. And then this guy will come over. That's cool, right? I'll put a magnet somewhere. Don't know where. And then everything should close. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're ready to go. Let's look at the paper pack. So this is the 6x8 collection, the Avesta, Art Options Avesta. It is absolutely gorgeous, and this is what we're going to use. Both sides. Look, I have this piece I can use too because it's pretty on this side. Here's what I was telling you about. I don't know when I'm going to need to get my trimmer out because watch. I will have to trim the piece to fit here, but look, these are pre-cut. So my album's going to live this way. So I'm going to go through and find the paper I want to do to go sideways. Oh, look, perfect. And look, it is pre-cut to fit. All I have to do is glue it down. Are you kidding me? I still haven't got my trimmer out. This is like putting a kit together. It really is. You just decide what pieces you want to put in that create your kit. Now, I'm going to be healthy, generous with my glue. I'm not being overly liquid. I'm scratching it on, but I'm putting it everywhere. You see that? And then this piece is now, let's put it this way. This piece is going to go like this. Now, some of you guys are going to be really concerned about the placement of my butterflies, but listen, I may cover them up. Butterflies fly in all different directions. Do not panic. And here's where my not panic comes from. I attended a workshop with the lady who designed these, and she absolutely was a little willy-nilly with her paper placement, and it was perfect when it was done. And I'm going to try to be the same way. All right, there's this side. Now, this side gets glued in the book. Don't put anything here. You don't need to. Don't waste any paper. Now, let's open it up. Let's put a piece here. I like this. I like the flowers coming in from the side. Let's put this one on. And I could use the solids if I wanted to also. But this is how we're going to get so much coverage is with this paper pack. So easy. Pre-cut to fit. Oh my goodness. It's my favorite. My absolute favorite. Put that guy on. And then let's open it again. Now we can go right in here and just keep covering. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cover. And when there's something I need to do different, we'll get back together. Okay, I went as far as I could. Now I need my trimmer, but let me show you why. I need the trimmer for this part, okay? When I open this up, I need to get my trimmer out to cover this. And then when we get inside here, these guys would kind of need the trimmer. But I've got an idea. I've got so many pieces of ephemera and things like that. I don't want to cut yet. I'm going to wait and see what's going to go here. And again, and I need to tell you this. I don't know if I've told you. I'm not pre-planning this album at all. Like I have not even begun to pre-plan. Look at this real estate here. Okay, close that one back down. Then this one opens down. Look at all this real estate. And listen, if you don't want to put it into the container that it goes in, if you don't want to put it into here, this finished and decorated is an album, right? So cool. Let's put this one aside and let's cover our waterfall. Now for the waterfall, it is time to cut. So I'm going to save myself a step. I've grabbed a ruler and a pencil, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure these mats before I go into the book. So I'm just going to lay a ruler down. So this is 5 1/4. I don't want to do 5 1/4. I just want to do 5 by 6 because it's 6 1/4. So I'm going to do 5 by 6 here, okay? And I'll need that on front and back. I'll just do this. If I just go times 2, then I know. I'll open this guy up. So he's going to be 6 by 6 twice. And then this guy, oh, he might be 6 by 6 also. Yes, he is. So 6 by 6 4 times. Notice I'm writing on the book. It won't matter. It's going to get covered up. You see? So that'll cover here, here, and here. And then this might be, I don't think it is. I think this is bigger. Yeah, this is going to be 6 by 7. Or 7 by 6, whichever way, times 1, because this gets glued in, so I don't need any more of that. So now, see, it's easy. So let's get our cuts done. I don't know how far we are into the video, but it's the first time I picked up the trimmer. And we're about halfway through this album, honestly. Okay, so let's start cutting. I did think ahead about one thing. Let me show you this. I want to make sure whatever piece I put here is the piece I want. And I love how this piece lays out. So I know this is the piece I want to put on the front of the album because I think it'll be pretty and it'll show off that point really pretty the way the design is. So I am going to sit this page aside so I don't accidentally use it. But other than that, I'm not real precious about the paper. So let's just see. I need 2 5 by 6. So let's start here. And you know, this might fit that waterfall. Who knows? We'll see. So 5 by 6, done. There's one. Let's glue it down. No, let's don't because I got my marks here. Let's pick another piece. Let's do this piece 5 by 6. And don't forget, you can use the solid sides. You don't have to use the printed side. You can use the solid sides as well. So that'll cover the first 2. Now we need 6 by 6. This will be pretty. I'm going to cut this down to 6 by 6 because it's going to be square. And I'm going to stand it up on the page so my butterflies run down. Isn't that pretty? I think I want to do that a couple times. So, because I have to have 4 6 by 6s. Remember what I told you? When I was in the workshop, she was not picky. She didn't even mind if she used the same page here and here. Like, it didn't bother her. And I want to try to be like that because I'm usually real picky. I don't want to be picky. Let's see. Let's do this guy. 6 by 6. Save that little butterfly for somewhere. Matter of fact, you know where these might fit, especially this one. Look. I might be able to use this on the side. Look how pretty that'll be. Perfect. Perfect. All right, I need one more 6 by 6. Let's do this one because I can get that same butterfly situation. So if I 6, that gives me my 4 6 by 6s. Okay, now I need one. Nope, yeah, that's that one. I need one 7 by 6. Let's see if I can get it from, I already used the front cover, and look at this. This piece, I'm not going to need these pieces because I have so much everywhere else. Let's do this colored page right here. Let's do 7. And you notice I'm not having to measure the 6 because my pages are already 6. This is a great place to put that one to cover. All right, let's glue them in. One reason I don't mind using this and gluing it down is because these would have to be fussy cut. All the stuff I have in all my little ephemera packs and stuff are pre-cut for me. And I don't want to fussy cut if I don't have to. I don't mind fussy cutting. Like, that's a thing I like. But if I don't have to, I'd rather get that much real estate out of a page, right? All right, so let's do this one here. Oh, look how pretty that is too. Oh, I'm tempted. I think I'm going to use this side. I like it better. Let's cover this one up. No big deal. I'm trying not to forget to give myself some solids. Like I said, I've got so many pretty cut aparts and laser cuts and ephemera and bits and things like that that I want them to really show. So I'm trying to remember not to give myself pattern everywhere. I don't have to. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and cover my magnet strip for here. Now, you might want to think about this before you might not want to do what I'm going to do. But I think instead of using the piece that came in it for here and cover up so much page, I'm going to dig into some of that ephemera and find a piece that can live right here and become and be like a piece. You'll see when we get there. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this guy so that he's ready to go when we get there. So let me measure him. So he's 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to cut it 1 inch by, let's see, he is a little over 7.5. He was probably meant to be 7.5. I think what I'm going to do, should I be brave? I think I'm just going to cut 1 inch long piece. Let me find where I can get it from the easiest. You guys, I almost forgot something. I have the fabric tape, and I so want to use this. Now, I have a video showing you how to set your box up because it doesn't come set up like this. You have to do that, but I want to use my fabric tape. So what I'm going to do, this piece here in the middle is exactly the right size for what I need. So I'm going to pull out, matter of fact, I'm going to measure what I need, which is about that much. I don't need to go all the way to the end, and the reason I don't is because I'm going to be covering it, remember, with some kind of little piece. So now I'm just going to run this over and cut it, which, yes, you can totally just cut it with your scissors, but how cool is that, right? Oh, my goodness. And now let's place this down. There is some text on my tape, so I want to place it correctly. And I don't know. I don't love this end. I am going to trim this end. This was my very first one I trimmed with my little doololly, and it wasn't super straight. Okay. So let's place this down. So pretty. Y'all, this fabric tape just becomes one with the paper, and it's stunning. Now, I do have some little fringies, but guess what? I kind of like what this does. I saw this done. Somebody else did this, and they kind of frayed it when they pulled it. Do you see that? You can cut them away, but if you pull them, you get kind of that little fray, and it just adds to the design. And if you're distress inking, like if you're inking all your pages and doing that, that's so cute. So there we are covered. So it will look like this. Now, again, I'm not going to put my magnet on yet. I don't know exactly how I'm going to close that up. I can glue this down though. And the reason I can is because I know where it's going to live. I just don't know how it's going to close. So let's glue this in. Glue on that flap. And then here's what I'll do. You can put this on your cutting mat, kind of even it, right? Let's get it a little even. And I can find the center, which is about right there. And again, I'm an eyeballer, so I'm not going to stress, but this gets me pretty close. Gives me a pretty good idea of middle. Just make sure you don't cover the score mark. Make sure that closes nice and flat. Cool beans. Oh my gosh, the ease. The ease, y'all. And then this will become a magnet when it's in the album. All right, next. So this is one of the pieces we're going to be doing our little assembly. We decided on that right-hand side. So I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to put a full piece here and a full piece on the back. So you guys, for here, I've decided to do something. I'm going to use this fabric tape. I think it is gorgeous. I'm just loving it. And so what I'm going to do is I need a piece that's 8 inches long, and it won't be perfect for here, but it'll be pretty close. So what I'm doing is I'm using my cutting mat to help me. You can put this in the cutter and use it, but because I'm measuring, what I'm doing is I'm placing this at 8 inches on my cutting mat, just sticking it down a little bit, then coming to the end down here and snip it. You can't really see what I'm doing. And because of the way I'm measuring, it makes it difficult for me to show you, but I'll show you that I just have this piece that I cut. See that? 8 inches. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down like this. Now my butterflies on this piece need to be facing this way because of where they're going to live. And I'm just going to place that and see if I'm good. And I am. Look at that. And I may end up deciding to do like some kind of closure, magnet closure or something, but I still can even with this. So let me see if I can show you this. 1, 2, 3. Well, let's go. Let me mark myself a spot. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what I'll do is I'm going to put this here. I'm just doing this because I'm measuring. And if I do this, take my scissors, run it underneath. That gets me 8 inches. Gosh, I love this stuff. I may have to put this on the outside of the album too, like on the box. And then I'm just going to place it. Oh, I got that one too long. Interesting. Maybe I just measured wrong. Let me do it from where I was doing it. Now we can place it. Like so. Let's bring in a little bit there. Okay. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Look at that. That's cool. All right, so here's what we've done. We put this here. I put it on the inside as well. I thought that was pretty there. And then, of course, this is going to open, and we're going to see the back of it also, okay? All right, we got one more piece to cover. So I haven't put any of this peach in, so I think I'm going to put this here because the gatefold piece will open like that, and it's got pattern on this side. Did I do pattern on that side? No. I'm glad I thought about that. So you just kind of look ahead. So maybe I don't want to put that there. Maybe I'll put this piece here, and then we'll do solid on the inside. So let's do that. Now, I will caution you here. Here I go on my cautions again. If you will notice that this piece is cut a little smaller, this black piece is, so you don't get quite the same distance here, but that's okay. It's so it can live kind of inside and out of the way. So you will be a little tighter on these when you're putting them in. I really want to glue these in, but I'm afraid it'll be a mistake. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how these will lay out, and then we can add more paper where we need it. So here's what's going to happen. This one will go here. And like I said, I would glue it in, but I think I want to do decorating before I put it in, because if not, I will have this in my way when I'm decorating on camera. If you weren't decorating on camera, you could totally glue these in and start decorating, but that one's going to live here, okay? My waterfall piece is going to live here, and remember, it'll get its magnet later. Isn't that cool? Let me bring it both back in so you can see. Look at that. It's so awesome. Then if we come to this side, this is where we're going to do our little fancy footwork, where we're going to put this one down first. I think I've decided to let it flap up instead of down. I was going to go down with it, but it's going to go like this. And then this side, our little piece here, will mount underneath this flap. Now, you're probably thinking, just mount it to it. The reason I don't want to mount it to it is because I'm afraid that it will get loose. This is not as sturdy as the book itself. It's just a piece of paper where the book itself will be stronger. So this guy will live like this and probably have a magnet closure as well, or a ribbon or string closure or something here. Now, all we have to do, this is what I wanted to look at. The only thing we have to cover in this book is here. We need to put something here, and we need to cover here. And if we're going to do here, I sure do see that fabric tape coming in handy right inside of here, right? That's what I'm thinking. Now, the other thing, in your kits, remember, you get these guys. You get these binding strips. If you don't want to glue your waterfall in directly, you could use one of these binding strips if you wanted more space, and you could put it in with a binding strip and you have more space. I think I have plenty of space. I have made plenty. I'm not going to stress about it, okay? You could do the same with this guy. You could put this one in with a binding strip. The reason I'm not is this one is so thick, has so much height to it, that it would only open like this. It wouldn't lay all the way down. So I don't really want to do that, but it can be done if you need that space. Plus we have so much real estate in here. All right, so let's pull this out. We will glue them in once we glue things down. And now we need to start covering. It's important you do what I just did, because you might have come in here and just started covering all this up, and you don't need to. You only need this spot, your point at the top, and these little pieces in the middle. So let's do this spot really quick. I have used so much of the butterfly and the floral. I'm going to put a solid here. Again, I'm telling myself I need spaces for all my pretties to go in. So this one is going to live here. Notice something else you could do. I haven't done it on this one because I wanted to show you just how quickly these can go together. But you totally could use your border punches and your corner punches and like do some rounded edges or do some of the decorative edges. You can add all of that as well. All right, let's see what tapes fit where. I think I'm fixing to do something a little different. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to tape this down. And you notice how I'm letting it hang off the edge down here? I think I'm going to wrap it around. I think this will be pretty. So I'm going to lift this up and tuck this around like that. And I can't decide. Here's what I don't know. Do I want to cut it off and then put paper on the back and just have, I'm going to have more. I'm going to do multiple tapes in here. I know you're probably like, well, only one tape. No, I'm going to put multiples here. Do I want them to wrap around? I kind of think I do. But they don't have to wrap around. I could just put paper back here. I think I'm going to wrap them around. What can it hurt? What can it hurt? Let's wrap it. It's so gorgeous. And I like showing it off. So there's one piece. And I'm going to leave myself a little extra to wrap it on the inside. Gosh, I love that. This fabric tape reminds me of like medical grade, like gauze. I mean, it's not medical grade, but it reminds me of that kind of thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this solid green in. Like so. I'm going to have to lay this down where I can see it. Let's start on the inside so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to lay this solid green in, overlapping a little bit, maybe a little bit more than that. Like so. I'm going to tuck it underneath. Then I'm going to wrap it around just like I did. This green reminds me of floral tape. It is not. It is fabric tape. I'm going to rub this one in. Cut it off with a little extra so I can tuck it around. Let me be mindful of my tucking. I wasn't on the front. You can kind of see I got off a little bit, so I want to be mindful of it back here. And then I'm going to take the other one, and I'm going to do the same thing. I like how this looks. So cool. I cannot wait to see what you guys do with your fabric tape. That's going to be neat to see. All right, and then I'm going to wrap it on the back. I'll show you both sides. I don't think you'll need any extra adhesive on this. I don't think you'll need to add glue to hold this in place. We'll know over time. But worst case scenario, you'll just put a little glue here. But look how nice that is. That's nice. All right, I'm going to do that same thing here and here. And then I may just use one single piece here because it's thinner. That was so enjoyable putting that tape on. I will tell you, I had one little piece lift up here and one little piece lift up there. I put glue on this one, but I haven't the other ones. I want to see what it's like. I feel like rubbing the fabric tape back on itself might keep it from sticking too good, like where it's, on itself. And I could have brought it down a little further. I just gave myself little bitty bits to wrap over. So watch that, be mindful. But I will tell you this, when Brenda Berry, y'all know my friend Brenda, when she gets back to town and she starts to play with this, she's going to love it. I know fabric tape is not new. She's probably played with it before. Brenda's done a lot of crafting, but she's going to love this tape. Okay, so when we put everything in here, we've got coverage. We need to map this. We need to cover this guy. We don't need to cover this guy. Let's close this up and look at what we need to do on the front now that we're this far along. So we need to cover this guy for sure. I need to cover here. Okay, so that's 1, 2. I've got my piece for here. I can totally put this one down. Let's go ahead and glue it down. And remember, the magnets are already in for me. I don't have to put a magnet in, so I'm going to put this piece down. In my opinion, it's always important to find what you want to be the front. If you've taken any classes with me or done any kind of thing like that, you always know covering that front or finding the piece for the front is the most important part. At least to me it is. Look at that. So pretty, so pretty. Okay, so let's close this down. So I know I need to cover this. I don't have to do anything here. We already did it with the tape, and I need to cover the back. Let's go ahead and put our piece on the back. Now, what's the rule for the back? If you ask me, you use your least favorite piece on the back. Let me show you how much paper I've got left. So I have this one that looks like this. I've got this one, looks like that. I've got these pieces. I've got 2 pieces of this one that look like that. And then I've got 2 pieces of this one. Honestly, I think I'm going to use, what's on this one? What's on this one? Do I want to use this one? I don't know. I'm going to save that one. I think this is the right one for the back because it kind of makes sense. And that's upside down because there is some text on there. It kind of makes sense back here. So let's put this one on. Loving this. Loving this. I mean, seriously. when you're having fun, you're having fun. You got to say it, right? Okay. So the back is covered. Everything but our little pointy flap, which we're going to get to that. We're going to do that too. And then what was it in here I needed to cover? I think it was just this one here. One thing you could do with that fabric tape, because this really closes nice and flush, you can make a little like handle. I'm not going to because I think we may have other things. If we don't, we may come back and put that fabric tape on here and like make it be a little handle for that. Let's put a piece here. I do love this floral, and this leaves a good spot for a photo. So let's do this one. Especially since here I'm going to have to keep it pretty thin because this is where the magnet closes together. So we don't want to overcover this one. There's that one. This one doesn't need it. This one does. This will show. I think I'm going to use this. I really like the corners done like that. Something's going here, something's going here, something's going here. So let's close this guy up again. That's all covered. That's all covered. Magnets work great. All I need to do are my flaps. So on this flap, I think I'm going to do something solid. Like, only have these two. No, I have 3 pieces left. This is amazing. Oh, no, I hid a piece from myself. I thought I only had those. I still have this one too. I kind of think this would be pretty on the point, but I've got it down here. What about that floral on the flap? That would be really pretty. Wouldn't that be gorgeous? All right. So let's look. That or green. Green is always good. Or this color is always good. And then there's this peachy color. This is not my favorite color from the pack, so I don't want it to be front and center. I really do like this one. You also might be thinking, why put something plain? I've got all my ephemeras, don't forget. But I'm thinking this one wins. So let's do that. Now, I'm not sure if this is the best way to do it, but here's how I'm going to do it. If it's not the best way, you'll learn from my mistake. What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to place this where I want it, top and bottom. That's the gap I need. Is there a template? Let me look. Unless I'm missing the template, I don't see one. So here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to place this where I want it. So what that means is I've got the same distance. Let me bring it into screen. I've got the same distance here, here, and over here. Okay. Then I'm going to flip this over, just lay this down. Well, after I wiggled it, let's don't wiggle it. I might need to use some yellow tape to hold that in place. Let's see if we can do it without. Yep, I got it. All right, I'm going to take a pencil and trace it. Just like this. Then I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to trim off what I need to trim off. I'll show you what I mean. To the trimmer. This is only what, the second time I pulled out the trimmer? All right, so I'm going to lay this here and get that cut. Make sure that's on the line. There we go. And I'm going to do this side. Because that's just this little section, I'm going to sink my blade so it won't wiggle on me. Okay, so you see now I have this point, but let me show you why I need to make one more little edit, because if you don't understand, I want you to see so it'll make sense. This next edit, I could stop there, but you see what I get? I don't get the same distance here as I do here from my mat's not the same, and that will kind of bother me. It might not bother you, but it will bother me. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to lay this on my mat, and I'm going to cut away. I think it's 1/8 of an inch. Let me look. I think I only need to cut away 1/8 of an inch. Let's see. So I'm going to put these sides where I want it. No, I need to cut away 1/4. That makes it easy. That makes life easy. So I'm going to put this on my cutting mat. And I'm just going to do this. I could do this in my trimmer, but I want to show you this way. I'll do this one this way, and I'll do the other with the trimmer so you can see both ways. So if you do this way, you give yourself a line, okay? And then you just put that in your trimmer and trim your line. But you can, let me trim this off. But you can put it in your trimmer and you've got 1/4 of an inch line here and just line that up and do it that way. Whichever way works for you. Whichever way works with your flow. All right. And now what I'm going to do is test the size. Should be right. And it is. Look how good that looks. But I need this again. Remember on the inside? I'm going to use this as my template so I don't have to do all that work again. If you think you'll be making a lot of these, like if you're really in love with this, I'd go ahead and make a template and save it. And then you have this part done. All right, let's glue them in. So I decided to go with this rose color on the outside. I feel like it looked good on the inside of the album with all the pieces we're going to have. I love that these have the magnets sunk in. That makes life so much easier. These will glue down so much better because of that. All right, I'm gonna close it up one more time. Close this up one more time. Place our piece on the top. Isn't that pretty? Love it. Okay, now you know all our pieces go inside here and we can now start to decorate. But what I'm gonna do is call this video part 1. It may not be a very long video for you guys, but I've been filming. You might want to know. I started, let me see what time is it because my clock is wrong from daylight saving times. 2:19. So I had lunch at like 12. I finished at like 12:30 and I started working on this at 12:30 and it's 2:19. And look, not bad, right? And we did all of that in that length of time. So we're going to call this part 1. Now, something I am going to do because we have added a lot of liquid glue to this cardboard. I don't expect it to warp. I did use my art glitter glue and I did use it the way I know to use it. But what I want to do is I'm going to place something on here just to hold it square while it finishes drying. A book, something heavy. I don't know. I'm looking around the room. I don't have anything right here to put on it, but something heavy just to sit here overnight because I'm going to walk away from it now. And that way I know it will stay square as it dries. I do not expect it to warp. But you guys tell me sometimes you struggle with that because you might have a heavier hand with your glue. So that's what I would do at this point. I'm trying to give you tips that I think would work. You know what I may do? I've got my Cricut Heat Easy Press. I may sit my Easy Press on here and just hold it down. It's doing well. It's fine. I just want to be sure of that. Okay, part 1. Tell me in the comments. Can you believe we did all of this, and I picked up my trimmer like once. Oh, look, guys, I still had that piece. Good. I keep finding pieces. I picked up my trimmer, well, twice. I cut these, and then I cut the point. I can't believe it either. Again, if 49 and Market makes it any easier, we're just going to buy completely done albums. This is so fun because I'll be able to get to putting my pictures in so much faster. It won't take me weeks to make the album. I can spend weeks putting the pictures in. I'm so excited. I don't know what this one's going to be yet. I have a Downton trip that I need to do. Downton would look beautiful in here, and I may end up putting them in here because I have a lot of pictures from Downton, and I have a lot of space in here. I don't know. It's going to be that or something. I don't know. All right, guys, I'll stop talking. I love you guys very much. I hope you enjoyed this one, and don't forget, I'm trying to reach 400,000 subscribers this year. It would thrill my soul if you would consider clicking that red button. It's free. Just click subscribe. And there's a little gray bell next to it. If you click that, you can tell YouTube that you would like to know when I post a video, and you can tell it how you'd like to know, email, text, or all of the above. If you would like to see some inspiration from other projects, head to our customer gallery at MaymayMadeIt.com and see what you can find over there. There's lots of inspiration, over 2,000 posts for you guys. And until next time, bye now.